from CIRCA Resort and Casino in beautiful Las Vegas. It is day 2 of our CIRCA shows. We are very excited to be here to be talking NFL gambling for about a half an hour, and then we'll join you at 12 Vegas time.
12 Vegas time.
12 Vegas time. So 2 p.m. Central Time, 12 Vegas time. We'll have one more final show from you here from, again, beautiful CIRCA Resort and Casino in downtown Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's big of us to be doing this after the night we had. On top of the rest of our company back in Chicago at a golf outing right now. Big of us to come on here and do these shows, guys.
Absolutely. I'm Sean Anderson. You can follow me at Sean_W_Anderson. Alongside me is Cody Delmendo, my partner in Degeneracy. You can follow him at Cody_CHGO. And that is the very wealthy Nicholas Moreano.
Very wealthy.
You can follow him at Nicholas Moreano. He's our CHGO Bears beat writer. He's taking a red eye tomorrow to be at the preseason game, Bears and Bills. And there was just you and Will DeLay doing the game preview. So make sure you check that out on our CHGO Sports YouTube channel. But do we talk about what Nick Moreano was doing? He woke up this morning and just kept gambling.
I may have a problem. No.
I think I need to do I need to rub him a little bit
maybe.
or something?
I don't mind.
I need some of the Moreano magic, man.
Watch yourself. HR might start talking to you.
No, but the slots are hot, you guys. The slots are hot, and I'm sad that I have to be, leaving this amazing place at later on today. We'll get to get our swim on, but it's been the slots have been nice to me.
Well, and now you got money to put on some NFL futures too.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're going to keep the money rolling. We're going to talk NFL MVP to start off, but then we're going to bounce around. We got this beautiful packet from CIRCA Sports with a ton of different props, AP Coach of the Year, most interceptions, least interceptions. We're going to go through every single player prop. Did team props yesterday. Told you the Jets are winning the Super Bowl. Mike Palm told you that Justin Fields sucks. A lot of good stuff from yesterday, but let's be player specific today. Let's start with Justin Fields. 25-1 to be NFL MVP, tied with Deshaun Watson, again 25-1. Above him, Dak at 22-1, Tua at 20-1, Trevor Lawrence at 19-1, Aaron Rodgers at 17-1, Lamar Jackson 14-1, Jalen Hurts 14-1, Justin Herbert 12-1, Josh Allen about 8.5-1, Joe Burrow about 6.25-1, and then Pat Mahomes 5-1. If there is a guy that leads this, it's obviously Justin Fields because he's our guy. Are you drinking the Kool-Aid, Cody? Is 25-1 not long enough?
I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, man. Why not? Why not? Because let's be real. If we believe the Bears can go over that 8.5 total wins and even more, I have considered taking it over 9.5, over 10.5, just because I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. But if the Bears make the playoffs and they make the playoffs easily, I think Justin Fields is at least in that MVP conversation. He's going to be a massive reason to why they're good, and so I don't hate it at 25-1. That's decent odds. Now. Obviously, we kind of talked about it yesterday a little bit. Health is a big thing for him. He's got to stay on the field. Mm-hmm. And, the Bears have to win, right? So, yeah, I think 25-1, yeah. I'll dabble on that. Why not?
Yeah, guys, a lot obviously has to go right for Justin Fields, and he's been a really popular candidate for, winning this prestigious award. For me, I think, I'm looking at some of these past winners. You got, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, back-to-back, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes again.
Painful.
It is painful. Look, if you're a Bears fan, you want to vote on Justin Fields to go off this next season and just, light up the world rushing and passing, by all means, do what you want to do. It's your money, but I don't know if I'd personally be putting money for Justin Fields to win MVP.
You want to know who my, flyer is if I weren't to choose Fields?
Of course.
And it kind of goes back to yesterday. I was talking about the Steelers. Kenny Pickett, man.
Wow, okay.
Jesus. Plus 6,000, baby. Plus 6,000 on Kenny Pickett. And again, they've played well this preseason. I know it's preseason, doesn't necessarily matter, but I do think that if the Steelers are way better than what we expect, Kenny Pickett could be a big reason why. Obviously, they love to run the ball. Obviously, Mike Tomlin's going to get a lot of credit no matter what. But I don't know. Again, that's my flyer. Put $1 or $2 on it. That's my big flyer.
Yeah, $2 to win, what, 120? There you go. It's a nice little profit there. I do want to go kind of in that area, though. I mean, maybe Kenny Pickett, maybe if the Pittsburgh Steelers win the AFC North here. But let's look in the division, NFC North. I think it sticks out that Fields is obviously the leader of the pack for this division. Fields 25-1. Next up is Jared Goff 45-1. Then Jordan Love 60-1. Kirk Cousins 70-1. Especially with those odds, Jordan Love 60-1. Again, if he protects the ball, he should be all right. I think especially if this team wins the division, they win 12, 13 games with a quote-unquote rookie quarterback who's protecting the ball. I mean, I could see 60-1 hitting.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but...
I said this before we went live. If Jordan Love is in the MVP race, then I am going to be at the bottom of Lake Michigan before the end of the season. Before the end of the season, I will be, yes. But your logic, it's not off, Sean. But, again, he's never really played. He doesn't have a lot of snaps, right? Like outside of a preseason, a few games he started because of Rodgers being hurt. I don't know. It's plus 6,000 for a reason.
Well, guys, so Kirk Cousins, as much crap as he gets, and obviously the one playoff game outing against the Giants didn't go well, but he does put up yards. He puts up the stats, and the team is obviously they won a lot of games last season. Plus 7,000. I'm surprised that Jordan Love and Jared Goff are I'm surprised where he's at right now because, again, he puts up the flashy stats. He's going to put up the passing yards. He's going to get a lot of touchdowns. When you have Justin Jefferson on your team, you're obviously going to make your job a lot easier. But I think if I'm looking at an NFC North quarterback, I'm liking those odds for Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I think the one thing that does hurt Kirk is just the interceptions. He's been over 10 in every season since 2015 except for 2. 2019 he was at 6, and then 2021 he was at 7. But he's never even finished in the MVP race, Cousins, which I think is surprising. I think people just overlook him because
they do.
Again, he's not.
He's Kirk Cousins.
Great.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you guys watch
from Barrington?
Yeah, he is. Did you guys watch the Netflix series Quarterback by any chance? And Kirk Cousins? Well, if you're not a fan of Kirk Cousins, that documentary, that series, definitely puts him in a different light. And I gained a lot of respect for Kirk Cousins. I'm just watching that, but still, puts up the stats. So I'm wondering what they're going to do in 2023.
So there's one quarterback to go outside of the NFC North, and maybe Kirk Cousins can do it at 70-1. But there's a guy tied with him 70-1 that. I feel like I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. There have been 18 straight different winners of the NFC East. The Eagles won last year. Does that open the door for the Cowboys? Does that open the door for the Giants? It definitely doesn't open the door for the Commanders. But we like Brian Dable. Their defense is all right. I think it's got potential. Daniel Jones is really the big key here. It's really about him unlocking. Last year, 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, rushed for nearly 700 yards. This is a guy that throws 20 touchdowns, protects the ball, and rushes for 7,500 yards or 750 yards or maybe even close to 800 where that Justin Fields rushing prop is set. If the Giants win the division, I could see Daniel Jones being MVP at 70-1.
I just think Saquon's going to get more credit than Daniel Jones, or Dable will get more credit than Daniel Jones. He would have to put up in numbers that we've never seen, in my opinion. Because last year he was decent for them, but everyone credited Dable for coming in there and changing their offensive scheme and everything, and he deserved a lot of that credit. Daniel Jones was better, and he, for some reason, he really highlighted how much of a versatile quarterback he is in terms of being mobile and stuff. So yeah, maybe at 70-1, sure, yeah, I could see it happening if he really broke out and had one of the was. Passing wise, was among the tops in the league in terms of all these yards and stuff. Do I see that happening? No, just based off of how they play. But it'd be pretty unreal to see that actually happen.
Yeah, and I think too, Sean, you brought up the stat about the NFC East and how many different teams come out as a division winner. If Daniel Jones can prove that he can beat the Eagles in that division and have a very productive season, then you're talking. Then I think you're seeing what Daniel Jones is capable of with Brian Dable and how they are even competing within their own division, because I think that will hold weight too if you're thinking about the MVP consideration. Obviously, all the stats at the end are going to be and where the team is ultimately at. But if you can put some good performances against the Eagles, obviously the Cowboys as well, and then still have those stats in your favor, then those plus 7,000, like, why not throw some money on that?
Last year, 6 game-winning drives or fourth-quarter comebacks for Daniel Jones against the Titans in week. In week 1, game 2 against Carolina, week 5 against Green Bay, week 6 against Baltimore, week 7 against Jacksonville, and then the playoffs against Minnesota. I don't know. It's just.
Nah.
He's got that clutch gene. Daniel Jones has that clutch gene.
Danny Dimes, baby.
Danny Dimes, dude.
I saw him run all over the Bears at MetLife Stadium. It was crazy.
He's got that ability to, stat pad. I mean, he could have, a 4 rushing touchdown game and a 4 touchdown passing game. Right. I don't know. He's such an odd player.
Now, as far as, guys that are a little bit more realistic as of today, obviously Mahomes is, plus 500. These are the best odds he'll probably have all season unless – maybe the Chiefs get off to a slow start and then he gets hot in the middle of the year. Maybe those odds are different, But, still, most MVP winners, they're great from the very beginning all the way to the end. Jalen Hurts was great from the very beginning of the season. The Eagles were the last team to lose a game or whatever last year. They were the best team in the NFL all season up into the Super Bowl, unfortunately. So when I look at, anything under plus 2,000, I don't understand the Justin Herbert one personally. He's great. He's a great quarterback. I just don't believe in the Chargers, I guess. So I'm not touching that at plus 1,200. I kind of like Trevor Lawrence. I'm kind of high on if I had to pick one team from the AFC South and the NFC South altogether, he's the one guy that could maybe win some of these awards that we're talking about today. At plus 1,900, he's coming off a great season, great second half of the season. They went to the playoffs.
They beat Justin Herbert in the playoff game.
Right, yeah. So he's probably the one now. But then you see again with Mahomes and Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, plus 500, plus 625, plus 865. Sure, and you want to put down more money to potentially win more, great. But I think what we're doing here is we're trying to find the
Goldilocks.
Yeah, we're trying
the perfect middle.
We're trying to find the diamond in the rough right here, right? Because it's outside of Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers, I guess, these last handful of years, no one expected Jalen Hurts to win MVP last year. Whoever bet on that before the beginning of the year, they won a lot of money.
No one's going to expect Lamar to do what he did. It was, he rushed for over 1,000 yards, but he threw for 35 touchdowns that first MVP year. Before we go to you, Nick, it's just that finding that Goldilocks, again, I feel like we can narrow in on Rodgers and Trevor Lawrence. We like the Jets to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's
Jets
true.
are 17-1 to win the Super Bowl. Rodgers is 17-1 to win MVP.
Yeah, I think for Aaron Rodgers, when you have Garrett Wilson,
a lot to prove.
Yeah, he has a lot to prove, but he has some playmakers over there in New York. I wonder, and you also have why am I blanking on the offensive coordinator's name that got fired from Denver? But you have there you go. You have some continuity in the offense, so it's not going to be a big jumper for him to kind of
and he used to be with him in Green Bay.
Yeah, so they have a great connection. So if a guy that had, I think, a down year, right, Aaron Rodgers with Green Bay last season, he's primed to have a bounce-back year and just do damage in the AFC. So at plus 1,700, I can see that one going, maybe banking as well.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Are we going to – or do we have any hope of a non-quarterback to win MVP?
I don't think so.
It should be.
What was the last one? It had to be a running back, I'm assuming.
Last MVP, NFL MVP that wasn't a quarterback?
Is it Adrian Peterson in 2012?
Adrian
Jesus.
It's been over
and
a decade.
I knew that was
All
over
day.
2,000 yards.
Yeah, probably.
And then LT before that. I couldn't tell you the last time. I don't think a wide receiver's ever
So it'd
won
be a
that
running
award.
back if it were. But the thing is everyone kind of just discredits running backs.
Nick threw out Cousins. He's at 70-1. Justin Jefferson's 100-1. If Justin Jefferson has a Megatron level season where he's breaking single season receiving yards and he's got 20 touchdowns, maybe. Because Brady won it back in 2007 when they went undefeated and Moss broke that record. But I don't think Kirk Cousins is throwing for 50 plus touchdowns this year. He might throw 25 to Justin Jefferson by himself. So
that's nuts that there's never been a wide receiver to win the NFL MVP, like, at all.
Yeah.
Like, it's just crazy. It's a passing league. Obviously, quarterback's going to get all the credit. And clearly, when the MVP voting happens, that's how it goes. But that's nuts. Like, there are some very, very special wide receivers in this league. So, I don't know if that'll ever change, but that just seems to be the trend that happens now.
Yeah.
Crazy.
do you like a wide receiver?
No.
I mean, Jefferson's the only person I think you should entertain.
Yeah,
That's a non-running
he's the best
back.
receiver in football. If I were to actually dabble on him at plus 10,000, I mean, $1, whatever.
Do you trust Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow more than you trust Kirk Cousins in Justin Jefferson? I think that also is maybe part of the equation because obviously they need their quarterback to throw them the football. But
I think Burrow has just a better chance to win MVP.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I
It's just more, like, obviously it's a plus 625, but
I do think that Jefferson probably gets more credit than Kirk Cousins does when it comes to just the success of the Vikings. More people will talk about Justin Jefferson than they do Kirk Cousins. It's weird in a way, but I think it's just because he's the best wide receiver in football, and we all kind of just know what Kirk Cousins is. He's very solid. He's not top 5 in the league, but he's not bottom 10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's not. I don't even think he's mid-tier. Like, I would say Kirk Cousins is a top 10, top 12 quarterback in football. And so, but he's more like on the bottom half of that top 12 or top 10. And so, like, people are just kind of like, yeah, he's had some good moments. He can stat pat, like, but has he ever won anything? And it's like, no. So, yeah, I mean, as far as
there
like
are
not
20
taking
quarterbacks ahead of Kirk Cousins to win MVP. You said he was about 12 to 15. There are 20 quarterbacks ahead of him on the MVP odds.
Well, it is surprising to see that Brock Purdy has better, like, is above him on this list that we have here. Like,
Would you rather do Brock Purdy at 55 to 1 or Jordan Love at 60 to 1? Like, I feel like Jordan Love is being slept on.
yeah,
Like, Brock Purdy's getting a lot of credit here.
yeah,
I
for sure.
don't. It's not that I don't believe in Brock Purdy, but Kyle Shanahan gets so much credit for the success of any quarterback there. He got so much credit for anything that Jimmy Garoppolo did there because Garoppolo was so inconsistent. He'd have good games, he'd have bad games. Their defense saved them so many times. Like, Purdy was, I mean, he was for what you expected out of him last year when he came in after Lance got hurt. Like, he
operated that offense.
He got him to the NFC Championship game. Like, I don't know. I guess I wouldn't do it just because, again, I think Kyle Shanahan just gets so much credit.
Any thoughts, or can I take that segue? Any else to add MVP discussion, or I think I'm gonna take the segue.
Take the segue.
NFL AP Coach of the Year. You mentioned Kyle Shanahan getting all the credit. I put a star by his name. You look at the leaderboards for AP Coach of the Year. Matt LaFleur, 10 to 1. Sean Payton, 11 to 1. Arthur Smith of Atlanta, 12 to 1. Eberflus, 13 to 1. Dan Campbell, 14 to 1. D'Amico Ryans and Dennis Allen, 16 to 1. Saleh and Mike McDaniel, 18 to 1. Doug Peterson, 18 to 1. And Mike Tomlin, 19 to 1. Everyone else is longer than 20 to 1. If they win the NFC West, if they win 13 games, how does Kyle Shanahan not win AP Coach of the Year at 28 to 1? I don't know. Is it just because people are expecting them to be good? I mean, Nick Sirianni's 24 to 1.
Well, again, like the Eagles last year, no one expected them to be as good as they were. I mean, I think people expect them to be good or competitive. They were coming off a year where they made the playoffs, like kind of snuck in at the end. They, after trading for A.J. Brown, like everyone thought, you know, if Hurts can be something, they got something going on. And then he proved that he is something. So as far as when you're talking about Kyle Shanahan, it's like he is a proven coach. I think the 49ers would have to, be the best team in football for him to get consideration for Coach of the Year. And they could. They're very talented. They're obviously the favorites to win the NFC West, so it could happen. I just think that most guys who win this award, they're usually like the surprise team.
Yeah, and that's a good point that you mentioned that, Cody, because last year was Brian Daboll, right? In 2022, they win 9 games, but the previous season they won 4. So when you're looking like what team can make the biggest jump in terms of the win-loss record, Well, you do look at the Chicago Bears as winning 3 games, right?
Yeah. Had the number 1 overall pick.
Had the number 1 overall pick, and now if we're maybe saying, what if they win 9? They win 9 this season. That's what Dable won Coach of the Year with the Giants with. So if that happens, could Matt Eberflus be in the Coach of the Year consideration? He definitely could. If the Bears go to the playoffs, wild card spot, if they have the Giants season last year, go to the playoffs and actually beat one team in the playoffs, maybe Matt Eberflus can be a quote unquote realistic option to do that, because if the Bears make a big jump in the win-loss column, especially in the win column, that could definitely be in play.
At plus 1,300, I like it.
You tweeted it out?
I tweeted it out. That's the one that I like. Again, because I've made it clear I'm a believer in the jump for this team this year. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I actually like Eberflus to win Coach of the Year more than I do Fields to win MVP, just because there's so many great quarterbacks, and I want to believe that team can win 12 or 13 games, but realistically, 9 or 10 is something that I think they absolutely can do. And if they get 9 or 10 wins, like Nick just said, I think Eberflus will be right there for Coach of the Year. And obviously, if you can see a major difference in the team comparably to last year, I think that will definitely help him get a real shot to win this award.
Well, and the thing too, just to look at this angle, if you do like Eberflus at 13-1. The Bears alt-high for wins is 8.5. You can get that at plus 190. So if you are thinking that they're going to go over that 9 number, why take plus 190 when you could just bet Eberflus at 13-1? I think it's just a different way to bet that market, a different way to get boosted juice, because you need something very specific to happen. One of, 30? 32? 32. Used to MLB, where there's 30. I think that it's a pretty fair shot, because again, you're looking for a team that is not the Eagles, that is not the 49ers, that's not the Chiefs or whatever. This is not the Andy Reid award. No, Bill Belichick would probably win this award, every single year if it was actually true Coach of the Year.
I was just say I don't think has there ever been a back-to-back Coach of the Year award winner. I think it's a new person every year, right? So
no, Don Shula was back-to-back, but that's in the 60s. Recently, Ron Rivera won it in 2013 and then 2015.
Okay.
But
no, it's looking like
those Panther teams with Cam Newton. Okay.
Yeah, I can't see the last time that someone went back-to-back. Oh, Joe Gibbs, 82, 83.
Joe Gibbs.
Okay. And 82 was a strike-shortened season where a kicker won the MVP. So a wide receiver hasn't won MVP, but Mark Mosley, a kicker, has won MVP. So
nuts.
There you go.
So
there's no kick. There's no Justin Turner odds on this, unfortunately. But I think Eberflus 13-1 is interesting. Any other Coach of the Year names? Because I think it's just a better way to play the Bears. If you're high on the Bears, take that 13-1, because you are looking for one of those bad teams to turn it around and be like, oh, this guy turned things around. That's the clear winner, not just, Nick Sirianni's Eagles won 15 games.
No, it's a good point, Sean. I think that's the way you got to look at it. If you're looking to place a bet on the NFL Coach of the Year award, what team has the best chance to make the biggest jump? That's the candidate I would look to.
Yeah, you looking at some of these odds. If outside of Eberflus.
What about John Harbaugh, you guys? I know that Lamar Jackson, and they were good last season, but it's a completely new offense. We're going to see, Odell Beckham's over there too as well. They draft Zay Flowers in the first round.
They're going to throw the ball.
They're going to throw, yeah. So plus 3,500? I don't know.
This guy won it in 2021. It's not back to back, but Vrabel 43-1. Yeah. If they win the AFC South, I know it's just the same old story, same old dance. Everyone's sick of Mike Vrabel because he just does the same damn thing all over again. It's just give the ball to Derrick Henry, but it works.
Yeah, it does.
They're probably going to win 9 or 10 games.
I do like him as a coach, but I don't know about that one. But that's at plus 4,300 here at CIRCA.
Went 7-10 last year.
Yeah,
he's won 9 games in every.
They were a lot better at the middle of the year, and then they fell apart there.
They won 9 games. He's won 9 games in every single season except last year. You're
true.
I don't know. I don't know.
If I were to go with that thinking, then I'd just go Mike Tomlin at plus 1,900.
Well, we know you like the Steelers.
I do.
So there you go.
Gary's yelling at me in the chat for liking the
tracks.
Steelers. So
Well, Gary's always yelling. Make sure that you hit the thumbs up button in the chat. We appreciate everyone hanging out with us. We got over 30 people watching, right?
let's go.
So we don't have the likes lined up yet, so we would like to have those likes and those views lined up. And shout out to Edward. He said, "Are you guys sitting at the Circus studio by the sportsbook?" That is the VEASAN studio. So the VEASAN has the prime real estate right outside the sportsbook. But we need to go down there because Edward was also saying, hey, I'm sick of the futures. What are we betting this weekend for Bills Bears? I don't have this on this packet, but we will have to go downstairs and look at what the line is for preseason Bears football. But soon, you could do that from the comfort of your house. CIRCA app is going to launch in Illinois in late August and early September. We had Mike Palm on yesterday to talk about them launching in Waukegan. We are very, very excited for our friends over at CIRCA to be coming to Illinois and to be giving us a fantastic, fantastic sports book to gamble on. Look at that. We are coming to you live from CIRCA Resort and Casino in beautiful Las Vegas. We are here for CIRCA $1,000,005 and CIRCA Survivor. There's $14 million in guaranteed prizes. There is no rake, so if you go above the guarantee, all extra money will go to the prize pool. Entries open on May 25th. They will close on September 9th at 2 p.m. You must register in person here at CIRCA in Nevada, either at Las Vegas, the Henderson one, or the one in Reno. And weekly picks can be made through a proxy that you'll register from anywhere. You got two options, or you could just do both. You got CIRCA Million and you got CIRCA Survivor. $6 million guaranteed for CIRCA $1,000,005. $1,000 per entry with a maximum of 5 entries per week. Pick 5 teams against the spread every week. Winner takes home $1 million, and there are quarterly and season-long prizes throughout the way, so you can get paid out if you do have a nice quarter. And CIRCA Survivor, a little bit different. $8 million in guaranteed to the winner/winners. $1,000 to enter again. 10 maximum entries. Pick one team straight up each week to win. If the team loses or ties, the entry is eliminated. You can only pick one team once. So if you pick the Bears against the Packers and they win, you can't pick them in week 2. Go 20-0 or be the last person standing to win. And if a single person wins, they get the entire pot. If you end up splitting it with somebody, you guys will split it down the middle. But a great way to enjoy the NFL season with our friends over at CIRCA, and make sure that if you are coming to Vegas soon, you check out CIRCA Resort and Casino, open back in November 2020. It's the first adult-only resort, 21 plus only. You guys are going to go check out the stadium swim very soon. 6 pools, 2 spas, and
finally
rumored to have free drinks for Cody. So it should be
for all of us, not just for me.
That's true.
That's true. We're going to have a good time, you guys.
The day is young, guys.
Yeah.
We're doing the shows earlier than we were originally scheduled because of this.
Nick Moreano has $500 to go gamble.
He does.
So
$500 more win. I need more.
The drinks are really going to be on Nick.
Yes, no, they definitely are.
He's going to be going down to the casino and enjoying, but shout out to our friends over at CIRCA. This has been a blast, and obviously we're very excited to see how CIRCA Millions and CIRCA Survivor unfolds throughout the season.
Yeah, so you guys have to check out CIRCA. Also, real quickly, you have to check out Factor Meals, you guys. Now that we're in the thick of summer, you might be looking for wholesome, convenient meals to support sunny, active days. Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit, can help you fuel up fast with flavorful and nutritious ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time, eat well, and stay on track reaching your goals. Look, we all get busy, and there are times when you just don't have time to cook. With Factor, skip the extra trip to the grocery store, the chopping, prepping, cleaning up too, while still getting the flavor and nutritional quality you need. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are ready in just 2 minutes. So all you have to do is heat and enjoy and get back to your busy day. Like I told you guys just a couple days ago, had the black pepper and sage pork chop with smoked cheddar Brussels sprouts and creamy broccoli. It was straight up delicious. 45 grams of protein and just exactly what you need for a post-workout meal, or just if you're looking for something to eat. And Factors, actually, you can enjoy eating well without the hassle. Simply choose your meals and enjoy fresh, flavor-packed meals delivered straight to your door. It's ready in just 2 minutes, no prep and no mess. And here is the most important part, you guys. Head to factormeals.com/CHGO Bets 50 and use code CHGO Bets 50 to get 50% off. That's code CHGO Bets 50 at factormeals.com/CHGO CHGO Bets 50 to get 50% off.
So I kind of want to open it up to the group here, and thank you to Factor, and thank you to CIRCA for sponsoring this lovely show, and make sure you are hitting that thumbs up button and subscribing to the CHGO Sports YouTube channel. We have a new CHGO Bets logo, too, and honestly, Cody, even though it's not our mug, I like it.
I do like it, too.
Nux is my guy. You know, I mean, he's on the back of my laptop. Nux is. I need the PHNX cactus version of Nux, either in a sticker or something. But no, I'm happy to see our the brand be strong. But let's go into Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year. I'm also just going to open it up. If you guys want to take it any single direction, feel free. I talked a little bit about Justin Fields, 35-1 to be Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player, the first Bear that pops up, I believe, is on the second page. Yes, Tremaine Edmonds at 250-1. Am I wrong? I think that's the first Bear. Is Tremaine Edmonds, and that's the only Bear for Defensive Player of the Year. So
yeah.
Yep. Nobody else out there.
Yeah. So if you do like somebody,
no Jalen Johnson.
Well, that's the thing is, it just seems so tough for a defensive back to win this award.
I don't know exactly the trends of who wins this award.
Aaron Donald.
I do see Roquan Smith, former Bears linebacker from Baltimore. He's pretty
high up there.
Chase Young, future Bear, 66-1. Yeah, so Nick Bosa won it last year. T.J. Watt the year before. Aaron Donald, Stephon Gilmore, Aaron Donald, Khalil Mack, J.J. Watt, Luke Kuechly, J.J. Watt. So
basically
since
front seven guys.
Since 2009, 3 defensive backs have won it. Okay. Palomalu, Woodson, and Gilmore. So,
well,
I mean,
yep.
The only guy that I would say go off the board for is Eddie Jackson.
You know, back in 2018, he was in that MVP consideration for what he was doing. But
if he's forcing turnovers like he can, if he's flying around and truly being his true athletic, authentic self, if I have to be a homer and throw out any Bears player to win Defensive Player of the Year, I wouldn't take Tremaine Edmonds. I'd go off the board and take Eddie Jackson. But I'm probably just not going to take a Bear to win Defensive Player of the Year. But, I mean, can Eberflus turn it around? I mean, we kind of feel like
he's a defensive
they're
guy.
Unproven, but maybe there's a ton of potential here. I don't know.
Yeah, no, guys. I mean, last season he was balling out. I believe, 4 interceptions? Yeah, through the first couple weeks in the NFL, and then he gets injured by in the Jets game. But he was looking back to form where in 2018 he's just a ball hawk. And if there's a guy, I mentioned it, I think it was in yesterday's show, Kyler Gordon is a guy that I think is going to be around the football a lot too. So I don't know if Tremaine Edmonds would be my guy to bet on, but I do like Kyler Gordon a lot as well.
We got a guest coming over here. Oh, no. Okay, never mind. I was teasing.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I don't really know. Defensive Player of the Year. Okay.
I mean, you don't have to bet on it.
I normally don't, to be honest.
Well, then there you go. I don't think you have to.
I am, if based off the, what we normally see, like Aiden Hutchinson for Detroit.
That was the guy I was going to throw.
That's not
30-1.
I watched him at Michigan. He was great. He was, he seemed to come into his own last year. And obviously Detroit has a lot of high expectations. I think if they actually play up to what the expectation is, I think he's going to get more credit than Jared Goff. Yeah. Because everyone's just going to question Jared Goff all year. When's the real Jared Goff going to show up? But I think Detroit's defense, it definitely is a question, but if it is good, he'll be a big part of it. So I don't hate that at plus 3,000.
But 9.5 sacks last year for Hutchinson, 15 quarterbacks hits, 9 tackle for losses, 2 fumble recoveries, 3 pass deflections, and 3 interceptions. Because why not for a defensive lineman? So I mean, if he's sacking, if he's got 15 sacks and 3 picks as a D end, and they're winning the NFC North, I can see it at 30-1.
Yeah, I like that. We don't have the defensive rookie of the year, but I saw in the chat Jalen Carter, a guy that obviously the Bears
did not already crazy defense in
I know that could be something that you look to maybe put some money on, but he's
at plus 20,000
for he's
plus
on there.
20 for defensive player of the year. He's at plus 20,000.
Okay.
What? It's not a bad
defensive player of the year.
The defensive player.
I definitely would rather go the rookie.
Yeah,
but.
Where is he?
He's over here, Jalen Carter.
The third column there, Sean.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I mean, he's higher than Fletcher Cox.
Yeah, Fletcher's getting a little older, but I mean,
Fletcher Cox.
Jalen Carter's gonna destroy
insane.
people.
Yeah,
He's gonna literally destroy people.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe we don't bet on Defensive Player of the Year. I don't know. I don't think Washington's going to be good, but Chase Young is just very good in the fact that you can get him at 66-1. I think that's interesting. Aiden Hutchinson 30-1 again, interesting. But outside of that, I think it's really pick your choice or maybe just stay away. Let's go Offensive Player of the Year. That's always fun. I mean, Justin Jefferson. Yeah. 14.5-1. I mean, if we think that Kirk Cousins can have a big year again, he might break every single record. Would you rather take Chase or Jefferson? Because those are the two leaders for Offensive Player of the Year.
I'd probably lean Jefferson just based off the Vikings need him more than the Bengals need Chase, and it's not that I don't think that Chase is better or worse than Jefferson. It's more of like the Bengals are just a better team, and I think they'll throw it around a little bit more. And while Justin Jefferson, he's going to get a ton of targets, and he's going to be like the guy there.
I think with Joe Burrow too, you guys. I wonder health-wise. I know like he had the injury in training camp, and I don't know. Maybe there's just going to be games where Joe Burrow just doesn't make it onto the field, and that's going to obviously impact Chase. Yeah, so
that's true.
I would go Justin Jefferson in that case.
Of those two, yeah.
Yeah.
I also like Christian McCaffrey. He was healthy last year. Now in San Francisco, you saw like what
he's capable of.
Like you saw even more of what he's capable of there with Kyle Shanahan. And Kyle Shanahan, the moment they got him, you knew Kyle Shanahan was just like licking his chops to just get this guy out and doing everything. And again, Brock Purdy, I'm not necessarily a believer, but when you have a Christian McCaffrey behind you as your running back, it does make it easier. And I do think the 49ers are going to win that division. I don't hate Christian McCaffrey at plus 1,800 just because like he can catch the ball. He obviously can run the ball. He does it all as one of their running backs. So
I would honestly,
he's got to stay healthy. That's been his thing in the past.
Well, that's the thing is I think McCaffrey, especially at 18-1. I mean, put $5 on that, and then put $5 on Debo at 40-1. Because if McCaffrey does go down, we've seen Debo Samuel's be a running back. So I mean, maybe he just they unlock him. Shanahan puts his best playmakers in those positions. But I do like San Francisco again. I thought Shanahan to win Coach of the Year was a decent pick, and I think it's a decent pick to back up McCaffrey or Debo because or even Bosa. I mean, like they're just extremely talented. One final place I wanted to go, and then if you guys got any other ones, we could throw them out there. If you don't, we could wrap it up. Again, thank you, everybody, for watching, and make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button. We are so proud to be here from CIRCA Casino, and we're so proud to be here from CIRCA Resort and Casino in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. But I think I'm going to bet on history.
Oh,
Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Okay.
There has never been a tight end to win this award. Selected first round, 25th overall this year out of the University of Utah, Dalton Kincaid going to a fantastic offense in Buffalo. Josh Allen obviously did struggle at the end of the year, but maybe my guy Ken Dorsey can clean things up in the offseason, but Kincaid is that dude. Kincaid might catch 100 balls this year.
I like that a lot, Sean.
Dalton Kincaid, 75-1.
I loved watching his tape coming out, and he is a dynamic playmaker. Especially with Buffalo, they're going to throw a lot of those seam routes down the middle of the field. Dalton Kincaid's going to live in the middle of the field and make a bunch of big plays for him.
And Cam Rising last year, an athletic quarterback, a guy that liked to scramble, get out of the pocket. And what is Dalton Kincaid used to? Scrambling, following your quarterback, trying to get open. Josh Allen is the king of that. Or I guess maybe Pat Mahomes is the king of that. Josh Allen could be the prince. But I think Kincaid at 70-5-1. I'm running down to the sports book and placing that bet.
No, I like that one. Another one, guys, I think the offensive rookie of the year last year was Garrett Wilson, a wide receiver. I'm going to stick with the wide receivers. I loved watching Zay Flowers film out of Boston College last season, going to the Baltimore Ravens, and they're going to have a new type of offense under Todd Monken. So I think they're going to be a little bit more of passing, throwing it deep and letting Lamar Jackson just kind of flourish as a quarterback, a complete quarterback. So Zay Flowers is at plus 1,800. Like, why not? I mean, obviously you have Odell Beckham over there too as well. But I think Zay Flowers is going to get a bunch of these targets. So that's another guy that I'm kind of keying in on right now if I'm looking at offensive rookie of the year?
Yeah, I don't. You guys kind of said the ones that I already like. Maybe, yeah, I think Bryce Young, plus 565, whatever. But, like, he's the number one pick that the Panthers took after they made that trade with the Bears. And obviously coming out of Alabama, he had a great he's great upside.
Wow, Roschon Johnson's on here. Let's go.
Yeah,
and Tyler Scott. They're both 10, right. Yeah.
And maybe Roschon Johnson could be that guy. You know, I like Herbert, but like we were talking at the bar last night. You think it's going to be like a three-headed approach. But like, will Johnson get as many carries early in the year comparatively to later? And it's like, I think most guys who win this award, it's like they just take off from the very beginning of the year. So I mean, at plus 10,000, I don't hate it. You know, a couple dollars. Anyone else that we haven't named?
Well, I mean, like, just rookie of the year. I mean, running back-wise, Bijan is his college teammate, plus 325 is the leader.
He's going to get so many carries in Atlanta.
Gibbs is a running back, right, out of Alabama. But I don't know what that's going to look like.
You also have David Montgomery there in Detroit, too. So
Jamal Williams just had 17 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, is Montgomery going to have 15? Like, I don't know about
that. Yeah, I don't know. That's going to be interesting how they kind of approach that.
Kendre Miller of New Orleans, 42-1. But, hey, I mean,
Tajay Spears in Tennessee. Well, again, Tennessee, they obviously have Derrick Henry, so that's not going to be probably the best bet to make there.
But if Derrick Henry gets hurt, what's that offense look like?
Yeah,
might be a ton of Tajay Spears.
Yeah, that's very true.
Zach Charbonnet too. It's at 60-1, former UCLA.
They have Kenneth Walker there though, right? Yeah, so that's why I'm like, I like Charbonnet. I loved him at UCLA. I loved watching him play.
I love saying his last name.
Yeah, I do like saying his last name too. So it's kind of like another running back situation there with Seattle, and outside of what's his name, Marshawn Lynch. You know, they've been running like a committee for years since he left. So I don't know. But I like Charbonnet. If he was going to get the carries, I don't hate it at plus at 60-1, like you said. So, yeah. I mean, I also kind of like Jordan Addison. He was great at USC. He's gonna be on the opposite side of Justin Jefferson in Minnesota. So I don't know. Like, will he get enough targets,
enough volume to be in consideration?
Yeah.
Is Colt McCoy actually the quarterback of the Cardinals?
Yes, because Kyler Murray is hurt.
But he's going to be out till like December, right?
Something like that. You got that. It was an ACL injury, right? So he's going to be out for a while.
Just the final thing. Colt McCoy to lead the NFL in interceptions thrown, 75-1. They might just have to start him 15 times. I don't know. It's 75-1. It's a long shot, but I know the Cardinals are going to be bad. They're probably going to be the last winless team. So
it's not good for the network, guys.
It's not good for PHNX, but hopefully Justin Fields can win us a Super Bowl. Yeah. That's going to do it. This has been fun talking CHGO bets.
Gary said that Jamal Williams is not in Detroit anymore.
Yeah, he's on New Orleans.
Is he on New Orleans now? Okay.
But he led the NFL in rushing touchdowns, so it's like, they got to figure out where those touchdowns are going to go, and maybe that's where Gibbs can step up and if you're rush for 15 touchdowns.
They got
probably help.
Is DeAndre Swift still there?
Now he's with the he got traded from the Eagles to God, where did he go?
DeAndre Swift
is now.
No, he's on the Eagles, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Lions to
yeah,
Eagles,
Lions, yeah.
All right. So it's Montgomery and Gibbs. Okay. All right. Well,
see what Detroit does.
We'll see what they do. I think they're gonna be running the ball a lot more for sure. They're not gonna rely on Jared Goff to throw it 40 times a game.
No, and as we saw, like future-wise, I mean, it's a tight division, at least from what the odds makers think. Yeah. That's gonna do it. We appreciate everyone hanging out with us for over 45 minutes here, talking bets here. We got a show coming up in about 50 minutes. Right?
I think that's right. Yeah.
About 50 minutes, 11:08, so I'm going to go get some coffee. That's Cody Delmendo. You can follow him at Cody_CHGO. That's Nicholas Moreano, our CHGO Bears beat writer. You can follow him at Nicholas Moreano. And I'm Sean Anderson. You can follow me at Sean_W_Anderson. Thank you to everyone for watching the show. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button on your way out. It would be massively supportive to us. We got 27 people watching and only 16 likes, so make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button on the way out. And thank you to Marissa for producing the show. We'll be back at 12. Bye.
Bye.